Good evening and welcome to the Candidates Forum for the 2023 Town Commissioner race. This forum is sponsored by the Highlanders for Good Government, and we are bringing you this forum tonight in hopes of assisting you with making an informed decision about which of these candidates aligns with your beliefs and goals for the governance of the town of Highlands and our community. For our candidates, this is your chance to get your message out to the voters. Democracy is a two-way process. You must have honest, willing candidates and a public who cares enough to be informed. Everyone's participation at this forum, both candidates and voters, support that process by being present here tonight. We feel confident in saying that the candidates before you are honest, well-informed, hard-working citizens who have already participated in various capacities in making Highlands a better community. We believe any of these individuals will have Highlands' best interest at heart and will work diligently as your representative in our town government to make Highlands as good as it can be. Of course, there may be some differences in their philosophies, which is to be understood in a democratic election. Ultimately, you as the voter get to decide who your choice will be based on their position on the issues. We fully support everyone running here tonight in this election and would like to say thank you for being willing to take on the difficult task of governing our town. We would also like to thank the citizens of Highlands for taking the time to attend the forum tonight. The questions that will be asked tonight have come from members of our community who submitted those questions. Todd and Marcy Sherwood have agreed to be our moderators tonight, and I'm going to turn it over to them to get started. Thank you.
So, first question for tonight. Please introduce and provide us a brief background of yourselves. For the three candidates who are running as new challengers for the open seats, please tell us what you feel are the most pressing issues facing the town in the next 4 years, and most importantly, what led you to run for office right now? For the two incumbents, please tell us what you feel are most pressing issues as well facing the town for the next 4 years, and what you're hoping to accomplish that hasn't already happened during your tenure. Brian?
All right, well, first I just want to thank everybody for being here, and also thank the Highlanders for Good Government for putting this forum on and being able to communicate with y'all what our feelings are on town issues, and also I'm humbled to sit at a table with 5 such qualified people. So again, I think this is great for Highlands, and it'll be an interesting election season here. So a little bit about myself. My name is Brian Steeler. I've been a commissioner in Highlands since 2011 when I was first elected. As part of my duty to the town, I also serve as the chairman of the TDC, which is the Tourism Development Commission, and I also serve as the town's representative on the Macon County Economic Development Commission. I've served on a number of community boards over the years, and I'm married to my wife Hillary of 23 years, who's in the back, and I've got a daughter who's a freshman at Chapel Hill. So that's a little bit about me, and just I'm going to tell you about what I feel are the most pressing issues in the town of Highlands, and I feel will be for the next 4 years. The first one is how do we maintain the quality experience that we all want for the visitors and the local residents when they come to town. So I feel this is something that we're losing our grip on in Highlands in a number of ways, and I'll be talking about that a little more tonight. But to that point, sustainability should be our main objective in everything we do. So we have something so great here. How can we keep it that way? And then how do we manage the growth at the same time? Another issue I see coming is the planning, obviously, for infrastructure needs. But I'm not only talking about physical plan, I'm also referring to succession planning of our town staff. So we have a number of key employees who are either recently retired or nearing retirement in the next couple years. And it's critical that the new group of leaders that come in to run the different departments are ready for that position. So these are people that have developed a ton of institutional knowledge over the years, and we got to be sure that that's being passed on to the new group. The other thing I think is huge in Highlands and the need for is child care opportunities. I'm excited and been part of a couple meetings with the Boys and Girls Club that currently has a location in Cashers, and they're setting up a location at the hospital temporarily. And I hope and will support the town to be a huge player in in establishing this in Highlands. And then finally, workforce housing is something, and that's something I used to think that was would best be solved by private enterprise, but my feelings on that have changed a little bit, and I think in order for that to happen, the town's going to have to be a driver in some of that. So that's something, again, that I think the town needs to work out. And I think there's creative solutions out there, not just building homes and letting people move in. I think there's other creative opportunities out there, and I have a few ideas that we'll be discussing in the future. So again, those are my four key things coming up. But the main one, and I'm going to harp on it many times tonight, is the quality of life that we experience in Highlands. So thank you.
My name is Kay Craig, and I've moved here 35 years ago, and I've been in business in Highlands twice. I had a cabinet business. I've worked as an employee. I've now opened the Ugly Dog Pub after the recession, and that was a time when all of us can remember it was a little harder to have people come to Highlands. So it's been a great place to raise my two children, Samuel and Leah Grace. I have enjoyed the quality of life Highlands has given us for all of these years, and the many friends we've had. I've served on at least 5 boards, and I have always felt like it is a very important thing to give back to your community to help improve the community. We also, I'm sorry, I'm moving on to the next part. I feel like that as a candidate, I really want to address several different issues. Workforce housing, which I thought that was interesting. I really feel like we've bought several places for our employees. It is extremely difficult to retain employees when they have no place to live, and they definitely can get jobs down the mountain, and they often do. So we definitely need to have some creative ways that the town could possibly, help us come up with new and different ways of doing that. It doesn't have, as Brian said, it doesn't have to be just building. It can be other ways that they can help with infrastructure, things like that. And then the next thing is infrastructure. We are going to have to continue to strive to keep it at a level that everyone will enjoy, and help roads. Our sewer plant, we've got a wonderful grant for that, which is wonderful from the state. So I think that's a very important part of keeping. Sorry, I'm very nervous. But and then, as Brian was saying, I thought that was interesting, the town employees. I realize how many of them I know from over the 35 years that are going to be retiring, and we really, workforce housing would be something that would also help be able to bring new people here that could help with our town employees and the things that we need to fill. And so those are some of my points that I feel like are very important for Highlands.
We're all nervous.
I know, I'm very nervous.
Well, my name's John Dotson. I am one of the incumbents running again for your vote. I've lived in Highlands full-time since 1986. My wife and I moved here from the Atlanta area, thank God, Alpharetta to be exact. I'm a veteran. I'm a business owner for over 35 years here in Highlands. My wife Mary and I have raised our 2 wonderful daughters here. They have gone from kindergarten through the 12th grade in public school here, and we're very proud of the school and the school system, and we have supported it over the years, much more in the past when we had 2 attendees than we do now. But I'm very concerned about maintaining as far as the town is concerned, maintaining a sound physical position for the benefit of our residents. Dealing with the influx of tourists is of concern, I think, to all of us. And mine, and as I'm sure the other contestants up here, are all worried about providing a safe, enjoyable environment for our residents. I want to see us expand our infrastructure, providing residents access to more sewer and more sidewalks, and I'll talk more about that with the upcoming questions. But during my 16-year tenure on the town board, it's a tour too, there really have been no subjects or no challenges that have been presented to the town that we have not faced and dealt with. So as far as looking into the future and coming up with new solutions, certainly we want, all of us want to involve the town residents, because it's your town, and let us know what you want. It doesn't mean we don't all have ideas, but we don't have all the ideas. And I guess that's a...
I'm Rachel Wilson, and I am from Franklin. Went to Franklin High School, graduated, and went to Western Carolina for undergrad and grad school, and have lived in Highlands now for 5 years. And I'm married to Joey, he's here somewhere. And we have 2 children, a 13-year-old daughter, Tate, and a 15-year-old daughter, Tate, and a 13-year-old son, Tucker. They both go to Highlands School. And I work at Old Edwards Hospitality Group as the accounting director, and I've been there for 10 years. And I also serve as the treasurer of the Booster Club at the Highlands School and for the Shelby Place Homeowners Association. I felt like it was time in my life to throw my name in the hat to be a commissioner, because the skills I've developed throughout my career will translate really well to government, collaborating with other people, valuing other people's opinions, even if I don't agree with them. And I just am ready to step out, to come off the sidelines, to not complain, but to take action. And even though I have no experience in public service or with government, I feel like these skills will translate well. And I'm really excited to be involved in local government, where I feel like I can make a difference, where I can listen, I can see your faces and see you around town, and really do my best to make a difference in our town. I agree with many of the issues that the other candidates have put forth. I think staffing shortages in all businesses and in the town are an issue that we need to address. And part of that is workforce housing, and part of that is, making our community a desirable place to live, to continue to make it a desirable place to live, a place where our kids want to come back and raise their kids and work, and where we can encourage them to start businesses and thrive in this community. And I also feel like we do need to manage growth. The growth is here, and we need to put policies in place that make sure that big development doesn't come in, that we can continue our small town, quaint feel of our town that we just all love. And then I also feel like we need to protect our natural resources. We need to be smart with development. We need to be proactive in sustaining our water sources and in how we allow development to happen. I also want to echo what Brian said, and thank the Highlanders for Good Government and the committee for putting this on. I'm excited to get my voice out here, and I hope you will consider my views whenever you go to vote. So thank you all for being here.
My name is Jeff Weller. I moved here a little over 30 years ago. I've lived here full-time since then. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. I love it. My family all still lives there, but I also got out as quick as I could. I headed south. I went to Clemson University in 88 and moved to Highlands in 93. So I've been in the architecture and construction industry ever since I've arrived. As a matter of fact, I started working construction when I was 11, so I'm in my 42nd year of the construction industry. I would say that's fairly even keel. I haven't really changed that path. I was lucky enough to raise my family. My daughter is about to turn 22. She is a junior at NC State. My son is a graduate of Clemson University as well, and he lives back here. He works for Future Enterprises as a logistics manager. I am currently engaged to Jody Pearson in the far back right corner. She got as far away as possible. I love this town. I plan on spending the rest of my life in this town. One of the questions was having to do with why did you decide to run? I'll come back to the issues because, to be very honest with you, almost all the issues have already been covered. But I decided to run. I got active in the community from the very beginning. Dennis DeWolf was one of my first. He was the first boss I had in this town, and Dennis was a very community-minded person. And he started guiding me in that direction. He was kind of my mentor in that respect. And since then, I'm not going to belabor reading off my affiliations from the past because it's 2 pages. Sorry for the plug, but you can always look them up and read them all at jeffwellerhighlands.com. But what I will tell you is I get asked questions. We had questions from some newspapers and entities off of the mountain and about give me your public record or public service record. Well, this is the first time I've run for a public office. I have been in appointed positions. In the past, I was on 2 different parking and traffic committees for the town of Highlands. That's a never-ending subject. One of them was 28 years ago, and they continue today. Same problems exist. I was also on the Unified Development Ordinance Advisory Committee when the Unified Development Ordinance was created. I currently still serve on the Scholarship Committee, the Playground Committee, which I commend Brian Steeler for forming, or at least, and then asking me to be on it. And I'm also a member of the Planning Board. In addition, I'm also the chairman and have been for the past 7 years as chairman and on the board or the commission for 12 years of the Macon County Recreation Commission. So most of my focus through the years has been about students, about children, about youth in the community. So I've been very active at the school. I've been a soccer coach for 14 years at Highlands School. And like I said, I won't belabor that point. We can get back to that. So, but I decided to run at this point. In my business, I'm the project manager of every project we do. Everything from the Bascom to the Presbyterian Church addition to Highlands Country Club Clubhouse and many projects in between. And what I've learned, and then a lot of residential. But what I've learned through that process is you need leadership, you need people to come together, and you have someone to guide the ship. Now, I'm not saying I'm the answer, and I'm not the only person, but I'd like to be a part of that and part of the team that does help guide the ship, which is our town. The 4 most pressing issues, growth and responsible planning, and we're going to talk more specifically about those things coming up in other questions. I think one of the things is community engagement. That's part of the reason why I've been on 15 different boards and committees through the years, is to try and engage in the community. I think that's a very important part of governing, is to be part of that community. So I do want to improve and expand our infrastructure. Buzz actually mentioned about expanding sewer services. I think that is one of the biggest pressing issues of our town at the moment is expanding into the most environmentally sensitive areas and getting our sewer system expanded in order to alleviate issues with leaching into our water sources. We only have so much and with so much area, and the sewer system could be it is the solution from a standpoint of limiting that. And the last thing, of course, is workforce housing. We all knew it's an issue. My only point I want to make is the fact that I don't want the town to get into that business. I just want the town to be a willing participant in the planning process and a willing participant in moving that process forward and offering possibilities for it. Again, I don't want us to own it. I don't want us to run it. I want us to just be a very willing participant and do what it takes to to make sure that's available, whatever that might take on, whatever form that might take on.